In this lecture, you are going to learn about Angular cookies. For that, we need to use Angular cookies library. We will import Angular cookies library. Angular cookies. Yes, this Angular cookies library. I'm going to import this one into my project. Right, I have imported the Angular cookies into my project. Now I am going to the my script file and I need to inject that Angular cookies into this Angular module. For that I am going to use ng cookies. That's how we inject Angular cookies into Angular application. Now I need to import cookies into the controller. I'll use $cookies. Right. In the Angular cookies, they have predefined few functionalities. We will use first one. To store a new cookie, we will use cookie dot put. Actually, put is used to save a new cookie. In the put function, the first thing we need to give a name for a cookie. I'll use first cookie as a name for an Angular cookie, and the second parameter is a value for this cookie. I'll use first cookie value for this cookie, and we will run this application and see how this Angular cookies work. Yes, application runs. Now to check this the cookie is saved, I'll go to the Chrome developer tools and the resources, cookies, and I'm in the Plunker, and yes, in the run.plunker.co you can see first cookie. This is the name of the cookie, and the value, you can see value of the cookie. And when you check this one, you can have more details for a cookie like domain, path, and expires. We will check how we are going to give this object for this cookie. Actually, in the put object, first thing is the name of the cookie, second object is value for this cookie, and the third, the options. That option means you can give the path, expire date, and what's the domain for this cookie. We will start from the path. I'm going to give path, and the path will be like I'll give, this is Plunker, I'll give Plunker, and I can give the expire date for this cookie. For that I need to use expire. Right, I'll get these options into second line. In the expires, I need to give which date it's going to expire. Before this cookie put, I'll declare a date for expire. exp expire date equal new date, D is capital for date. I'm going to increase this expire date by 5 days. For that I need to use exp date dot set date, and I need to get exp date dot get date, and I need to increase this one from the 5, and I'll use plus 5 here, and yes, both the D's are capital here. Set date and get date, and get date, the current date I'm going to increase for by 5 days. We'll see in the expires on exp date, and we will run this application and see. I'll refresh this cookie. Yes, the name is first cookie, and you can see the value for a cookie, and you can see the expire date for this cookie. It's saying 15/22. Actually the today date is December 17th, and it added 5 dates for this cookie lifetime. It says 22nd of this December, and you can notice that path I just give plunker, but it's not accept. I need to give the valid path. For that I just put asterisk here, and see, I'll need run it again and refresh. Yes, you can see how this new first cookie is created here. This is the old one, and this is the latest one. It creates for this path, and this is how this cookies.put object is working. Now we will see how we are going to retrieve this cookie. Angular has a predefined function for that. I'll use that $cookies dot get, and in the get function, first thing I need to give which cookie I need to retrieve. That's the cookie name. I'm going to retrieve first cookie here, and I need to equal that return value into a variable return, and I'm going to use alert to show this return, and see. I'll run this application and see. Yes, you can see when it runs, it retrieves this saved cookie and show it in the alert. Yes, you can understand now. Cookies.put and cookies.get. Put is used to save cookie, and get is used to return the saved cookie. Angular cookies library has more functions than just a save value as a cookie. Angular cookies supports to save objects. We will see how we are going to save objects as a cookie. We will see how we are going to save objects. For that, I'll comment for temporary, I'll comment this alert, and I have an object array that's iterating in the table using ng-repeat, and I'm going to save this object array. I'll rename here like array1, and I'm going to save this array. For save objects as a cookie, we use cookies dot put object, and first thing we need to give the name for this array. I'll use object array as a name for a cookie. The second thing is I need to pass this array into the cookie. The array name is scope.array1, and I can use that same options that I used for a cookies.put. I'll copy and paste these things, and we will run this application and see how this Angular the cookie objects are working. Yes, it's running, and I'll refresh this developer console, and you can see I have created a cookie called object array. It's there, and you can see value. You cannot easily read this value because Angular has their own way to save these objects as a cookie, and you can see other things, expire dates and paths, and all are saved as a cookie using put object. And we will see how we are going to retrieve this object. For that, I am going to use built-in function cookies.getObject, and I am going to retrieve this object array cookie. I need to give name for a retrieval, and I need to equal this return into a variable var obj, and I'm going to equal this return value into the scope dot object array, and we will run this application and see. I have put object array, in array name is object array, and I have put array1 as a object array, and I'm going to retrieve that object array cookie, and after that I'm going to equal that object array cookie into this ng repeat object array. We will run it and see. Yes, it runs. You can see I have used object array in the ng repeat. Yes, it's object array. I have changed this one to array1, and array1 saved as a cookie in the cookie name object array, and you can see it's saved. And after that I have retrieved this object array using get object and equal to ret obj variable, and finally I have equal this scope dot object array to ret obj. And I think you understood about this Angular cookies. You can save values using cookies.put, and you can retrieve values using cookies.get, and you have options like the path, expiry date set, and the domain also you can set. And the other thing is save the object arrays as a cookies. For that we are using the put object function. For the retrieval of the object array we used get object function.